My balls keep telling me to let me just let me
Nothing irritates me more than the situation, and I gotta be honest with you, the thing that really irritates me is this attempt to change what actually happened. So we're going over all the DMs that tips are rightfully leaked because he knows he was being lied to and probably manipulated by Slasher. So let's go back to Jake Lucky's attempt at a cover-up.
But the first reaction and one of the bigger responses out there to Slasher's tweet was brought to forth by someone known as Brittany Venti, calling out Slasher for some DMs and taken completely out of context, trying to get him in some very big trouble. So let me explain those to you guys. As with that Slasher tweet, all she responded was, "You spamming my IRL friend in DMs nonstop to get in contact with me only to be rejected, and then proceeding to try and cancel me on Twitter over your vendetta of me rejecting you." 2 out of 10, as she shows 2 screenshots. It's first Slasher saying, "Hi Brittany." She replies saying, "I added your tweet into my video." He says, "Oh word, I will watch. Did you get my request through Jess?" Seemingly that's Brittany's friend. She says, "Yep." Slasher goes, "Do you want to go out?" And she says, "I'm not really up for dating. This is a serious inquiry for a date, not just a hookup. As someone who is diametrically opposed to many of your beliefs, but agree on others, I figured it would be quite fun." Brittany goes, "I'm not available for dating. Sorry." Slasher
would use the word diametrically when they're trying to hook up with a chick. I mean, it's fucking unbelievable.
Goes K, and then she shows the end of these messages saying, Slasher going, "The F is wrong with you." Me saying some pretty hilariously cringe milady meme crap doesn't make you any less of an arsehole for not backing down to take 5 seconds to think about what you did. People thinking, oh my gosh, did Slasher say what the F is wrong with you because he got rejected from a date? No, his response to that was simply K. When he said what the F is wrong with you and those other things following, it was actually because of Brittany's tweet he was responding to, she was going live with a stream shortly following Etika's death, and that is why he said, "What the F is wrong with you?"
First of all, Brittany didn't leave the context that the dates are over there, and it's a month ahead of time. And yeah, why wouldn't she come to the fucking conclusion that a month later that he found a reason to be mad at her when he did a stream with Etika? And the dirty little secret part that I talked about before, Etika was open about being friends with Brittany when Brittany's untouchable. And she did a stream, and from what I understand, all the money went to goddamn suicide hotline. So yeah, it's pretty easy. Yeah, I get what Jake's saying. I don't know if it's Brittany's fucking responsibility to sit there and point that, yeah, this is I'm not available for dating, sorry. He writes K, and then a month later, here is what the fuck is wrong with you? Who the fuck is he? He's just got rejected by this girl. He had to go through somebody else to get to this girl. And then he's lecturing her about a stream that she's having, like she's grifting for money.
And so out of context, certainly, and why responding to this out of nowhere when Slasher simply calls out Leafy's video for being a 2 out of 10, and I would say defending Pokimane, all of a sudden she tries to somehow cancel or turn people against Slasher.
Brittany Venti had nothing to do with this, right? What she's sitting there doing, like, he's getting on this high horse for women, and what Brittany Venti's doing is like, he didn't treat me very well. Before you fucking, I know that Pokimane's on his team. Before you guys get all like, oh, Slasher, good for standing up for Pokimane. No, he only sticks up for people that have the same ideology.
Adding the Florida Mayhem, by the way, an esports organization with no affiliation to Slasher whatsoever, because in those same screenshots, you see him offer Jessica a job recommendation as like a referral, not an actual job, by the way, but Keemstar takes...
This is where the cover-up takes place. This is the red herring right here. Doesn't matter if it's a job recommendation. I know there's a difference, but it doesn't matter if you're trying to use influence to get dates. Let me show you a picture of Jess's Twitter picture. This is at the time. She's going to every Overwatch who gets. She was one of the top 500 Mercies for, I think, for a while. Yeah, she's really into Florida Mayhem. And she really wanted a job. So yeah, I guess Slasher went to this one first, huh?
As a chance to call out the organization and say, oh, isn't it creepy that this guy's offering streamers jobs in organizations?
He's not calling out the organization. Let me read it. Dear Florida Mayhem, do you have a statement based on the allegations of Slasher of offering female strangers jobs? He's bringing their attention, and he's being passive aggressive. He probably said, you probably wouldn't like this reporter going out there and floating your name out there. He's not, he's like, they've turned this into Keem.
Slasher's got no power to give a job or not. So therefore, it's not a quid pro quo.
How did this fucking how did that happen?
What?
That's their whole thing. It's not a quid pro quo because Slasher doesn't work in HR. I mean, it's hysterical. Watch the Florida Mayhem come out and fucking defend Slasher creatively.
So if you guys are not aware of that as well, and I've also spoken to the Misfits organization who...
Yes, journalists with zero ties to our organization has the authority to secure somebody a job. That's irrelevant. And Albert Ye knows this. I was in Holland last year. I cannot believe people are falling for this shit. And I saw it online when Keemstar first tweeted this out last week. He's like, that looks like a job recommendation, not a job. We're splitting fucking hairs. We're playing semantics here.
There is no affiliation between Slasher and them. And
Irrelevant.
Fucking matter. Like,
This is Ben Spoon. He's a real jerk off too. Is this some sort of weird joke? Slasher is connected to New York. That's a red. I gotta be honest with you. My money says all three of them got together and they came up with this. This is obvious collusion because the question isn't whether Slasher's got the power to do it. The question is he peddling influence? And it doesn't matter if he's connected to you guys or not. And to be honest with you, with the last two tweets, that makes me think, no doubt, Slasher's connected to the Mayhem in some way. Because somebody chose Slasher over Brittany Bentley and Jessix. I'm gonna pop them all up there. We're going over fucking the tipster shit. And because it really shows Slasher to be a manipulative fuck. Man, I can tell you probably don't give a shit about what I have to say. But you have to understand, Keem is actually full of shit. This is a manufactured lie. No, it's not a manufactured lie. You had a quid pro quo with Jessix. 100%. Undebatable, undeniable. It was a quid pro quo. What? That retweet. Slasher had retweeted something about Keem being a sex offender joke. And Keem is going to go after him. Why are you telling me this, tipster? Good fucking question. I saw your RT and I figured you endorse it, so I wanted to say it's bullshit. You cover the news! Explanation point. How is this bullshit? Are you saying that Jessix is lying? Good one, right off the bat. And notice, he never answers. If you're actually interested, I will explain it to you. Yeah, there's got to be some nuance to my quid pro quo, but it would take some time over voice. It's easy to manipulate people when you're talking to them. I've never seen a point in responding, so why are you going tipster? So I'll just let Keem speak into the wind. I don't know. To me, all that does is give attention like it's legitimate. It's legitimate. It's 100% legitimate. And you know what really needs? You need the power taken away from you to criticize other guys' fucking sex lives. But I see people like you and Bobax retweet it, and I don't know if it's just because you're friends with Jess, which is fine, or whatever. Yeah, whatever. Or because you actually think it's true. It is true. Or you want to suck Keem's dick. I would have blown him out. No wonder you got your DMs leaked, douchebag. Why did you RT a tweet claiming Keem's a pedo? Legit question. Me and Keem have beef, duh. But Tazan's tweet isn't a news story. It's just shit talk. Keem manufacturer being mad at me into a news story. No. You called him a pedo, and he found something you did wrong, and he used it against you.
Which is what Keem will...
That's Keem. Like, I talked to Jessix. Like, she doesn't think that fucking Keem's doing her some fucking favor for women. But here's the thing. It doesn't matter. Keem's motives are irrelevant. Me and Keem have a Keem manufacturer lie, and that's the problem. As a journalist, don't you think it's a bitch fuck to RT a tweet claiming that Keem's a pedo, though? I think so. I think Keem is fucked, and he's insinuated sexual harassment 30 times, but none of you seem to give a shit. Because you can make a fucking argument this is sexual harassment. I don't think it is. But you're getting there. It's just fucked up. I have to ask again, are you saying Jessix is lying? Notice he won't answer. Jessix and Brittany manufactured that I sexually harassed her to Keemstar because I was called out Brittany for a tweet about Etika. It wasn't manufactured. Manufactured would mean they made it up. And I don't know how you fucking put a spin on this any other than what happened. You offered a fucking job recommendation.
Job recommendation, not an actual job. It's different.
It's different.
Right.
And then after you were turned down, you took it upon yourself to lecture her, potentially damaging her as some kind of fucking grifter. And it does look like you did it because she didn't give you a date. Did you not try to use industry confidence to have Jessica hook you up with Brittany? No, laughing my ass off, no. Are you saying the screenshots are fake? Excellent question. I'm saying they were mad I made fun of their friend. Who's the liar here? So it's really clear what's happening to Tipster, and Tipster knows it already. This guy is trying to get me to make a public statement and lie for him. So the screenshots are fake? I'm saying Jess, Brittany, Keem, and Leafy are all friends. So what you're saying is this is a fucking giant conspiracy. So what would you call it then? Keemstar released the same screenshots a year after the sponsors. This doesn't change whether it happened or not. You're saying it's manufactured. After Keems lost his sponsors, game structure and management, and Leafy was banned. What the fuck's that got to do with anything? It's nothing. It's a non sequitur. That doesn't mean a thing. Because I made a 2 out of 10 joke. Now that's fucking esports talks fucking narrative. Not anyone that makes fucking mild sense. Jess is Leafy's mod and friend. Let's say Keem, Leafy, Brittany, and Jess all have orgies on Sunday. It doesn't change the fact that you'd use the quid pro quo to get the fucking Brittany wedding. It doesn't change a fucking thing. I get that you were mad for something unrelated, but still, fake or not, but these screenshots are real, right? The conversation was hyperbole! And Jess understood I wasn't offering her anything and actually related to Brittany. So now the narrative's changed from being the 2 out of 10 joke to from a job recommendation, from a job offer not being a job recommendation to the whole thing is Jess knew I wasn't offering her shit. If I'm not mistaken, Rod, did you have contact with her prior to this? Laugh my ass off. You are welcome for any favors. That's fucking hyperbole. Hit me, Jess. Anything Overwatch related, I got you. I want a job recommendation. You want a job? I got you. Let me pay you back. That's hyperbole. No, that's influence peddling. Because it is nonsense. I would never give anybody a job. I thought you can't give anybody a job. You don't work for the mayhem. Based on getting anything in return. Yes, you would. Yes, you did. Yes, you did. Even if you were kidding around, this is still fucked up. There is no fucking explanation for this where this isn't wink wink influence peddling. There's no stratosphere where this is not a quid pro quo. This is you changing the narrative 2 years after the fact. But Jess nor Brittany never gave a shit about these messages. How do you, and here's the thing. I know you asked for a quid pro quo, right? Here's your statement. Jess, because, and we can't, I could prove that. I could prove this is a quid pro quo. But Jess nor Brittany never gave a shit about these messages. Let's say that's true. Okay, it doesn't matter, and we couldn't prove it anyway. Your argument is total feels because they don't, and you have to be. What, you can read their minds? They came out to manufacture the story. There's nothing manufactured here. Offering a job in return for a date because Keemstar was mad at me for losing a sponsor. It's still irrelevant. I made a joke about Levy. Still irrelevant. You did this happen. You can't prove otherwise. He sent this back to him. This is an old tweet from him in 2020. You don't have to virtue signal to believe women ad nauseum. Social media, show solidarity with women. Yeah. That was pretty fucking ballsy, Tipster. Yeah, because you see Tipster's probably mad at this point. I'd be mad too.
I love it. No, I love it. I love it.
Here was his response to that. Brittany also hates iDubbbz's girlfriend, which was in the joke. This is a joke? You don't think using your industry contest is any way unethical? No, maybe it's not sexual harassment, but it's definitely unethical. No. It definitely blurs the line. I would say it was quite a poor form of me to do so. So what did they manufacture? Because that's all anybody's really saying. It was personal beef, completely unrelated to all of it. Nah, that's what you're saying. You're telling how those girls should feel, or do feel, like you know. It doesn't sound like you're good with women at all. Where they work together specifically to defame me on purpose? Well, nobody can prove that. In my opinion, it's way worse. Way worse than what? So what was done to you was worse than what you did? What was done to you, you got exposed for quid pro quo. It happened. I don't understand that your position and influence might make her fear coming forward sooner. I wonder why she waited a year.
More than that.
Bro, she made like 2 videos about me calling me an orbiter. Not harassment. No, it's not. And the whole reason this happened in the first place was because she went live the day of Etika's death, and I DM'd her, what the fuck is wrong with you? And she got mad. Yeah, I'd get mad too. Right after you asked her for a date and she rejected you. It's completely fucking reasonable conclusion to come to. What does it matter what made her come forward? The fact of the matter is you did something unethical. You've mentioned that she was in the Overwatch community already. Yeah, like that's relevant. Can you not understand that if you had the influence to potentially help her to get her a spot in the mayhem, that you'd also have the potential to make her lose her current position? Do you not see why this might make her hesitant to come forward sooner? I'm going to say manufactured a lie between groups of friends based on sexual harassment as retaliation. You got nothing in the tank, fuckface. You would never use this argument in public. It is 100 times worse. Ignoring the Etika tweet, Keem's beef. Yeah, you're just trying to tie Keem into this, and Etika, and Leafy, and Pokemon, and it's everything about what you did, you psychopath. It doesn't matter if it was worse. What matters is you, a journalist. You use your position of influence to get something you wanted. Like, that is an issue. And anyone in any other field did this, they would be scrutinized for it. Do you see the problem with that? He writes, if you guys are upset about deaf noodles, what?
Oh, fuck me in the mouth. Oh, my God.
For constantly saying shit that can't be considered defamation, which is probably not wrong. Keemstar is no better. That's got nothing to do with you. You still did it. I agree with the initial messages were out of line, but I do not think it compares to what came after. All right, you can think it all you want. So basically, he's kind of admitting that he did it, but it's not as bad as Brittany pointing out he did it. And it's not as bad as Jessica saying, yes, he did it a year later. Look, you used your position. Oh, wow, he should have known this is coming out then. Use your position of influence with Jessica to try to get a date. That's unethical, period. Have you ever considered apologizing to Jessica? You should apologize to both now. Jessica and Brittany should be apologizing to me for what they've manufactured.
What?
We got 400 likes on that when I just screenshotted this tweet. The arrogance is unbelievable. It is John Swan levels. You can't be serious right now. Why not just own up what you did? You are literally pulling a John Swan! I didn't read this far.
Yeah, there you go.
I honestly, I read that for the first time now.
There you go.
Oh, it's hysterical. You're pulling a John Swan, and bigger needs to be. I know it's probably not that funny to you because y'all read it already, but it's fucking funny to me.
Oh my God.
Hope you like that. If you want to see the full episode, click in the left box.